Hey guys, my name's Brandon, and welcome back to Week 3 of the Integrity Online Dynasty. This week, we have our bye week, so I'm going to show you guys how all of our rosters, stats, and recruiting is looking. Now, if you saw last episode, you know that we unfortunately took a tough loss to Pitt. It was a closer game than the score suggests, but that being said, you did beat me fair and square, and it's just something that we gotta deal with. That being said, that's not how we're going to define our season, as we still got to play our way through the Big Ten schedule. And if we do well enough, hopefully we can make it to the national championship. I want to see Deke again there, because if I'm going to play in that natty, I want it to be against Deke so we can have a rematch. And I think it's a winnable game for us. We've got a ton of work to do before we even get anywhere close to there though, and that starts making sure that everything is in order for our bye week here. So first up, I wanted to show you guys what our depth chart is for the year. Obviously, at QB, we've got Sean Clifford to lead us. Then, moving into halfback, we've got guys like Noah Kane, Devin Ford, maybe even some Kevon Lee. Wide receiver, we've got Jahan Dotson and Parker Washington on the outsides, Keandre Lambert-Smith in the slot, and Cam Sullivan-Brown if we're going to be playing a lot of empty sets. Moving to tight ends, we've got Bretton Strange, Theo Johnson, and Khalil Dinkins. Now, I'm a big tight ends guy, so we'll be seeing a lot of these guys. And even though this roster is missing some guys like Tyler Warren and Grayson Klein, we'll be alright, because we're going to work with what we got. On the O-line, we'll see guys like Rasheed Walker, Mike Miranda, Juice Scruggs at center, Anthony Wiggin, and at right tackle, we've got Caden Wallace. Now, moving on to the defense. First up at left end, we've got Adisa Isaac, and then complementing him on the right end will be Arnold Abikadi. Then our two main DTs, who are going to be playing a lot in 4-3, are PJ Mustipher and Derek Tangelo. Moving to linebackers, we've got Jesse Lucetta at the left, Ellis Brooks and Curtis Jacobs in the middle, and then Brandon Smith at right outside linebacker. Moving to DBs, first up at cornerback, we're going to have Joey Porter Jr. and Tariq Castro-Fields on the outside, with Johnny Dixon playing in the slot for us. Moving to the best safety tandem in the league, we've got Jair Brown at free safety and Jaquan Brisker at strong safety. Moving to special teams, Jake Pinniger is going to be kicking off for us, and our punter this year is going to be Jordan Stout. So overall, we've obviously got a strong team this year, got a lot of leaders, a lot of people capable of making big plays out on the field. I'm excited to get out there and win some games. Best way to make the team better, however, and to set us up for the future, is through recruiting. We've got a lot of good stuff going on right now, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. First up here, we've got two guards who would both be great to get, Tom Mays and Scott Cleveland. I think we can get close to Stanford to get Mays, but Cleveland might be a bit harder to track down. Then another guy that I'm huge on is this tight end, Walter Carlson, who we're just behind Florida on. This dude is awesome. I mean, he's got great size, he's pretty fast, has some good catching and route running, great blocking. I mean, this dude can basically just do it all. Then moving through, we have another big athlete by the name of Brandon Gray. Then a guy who I'd really like off the edge, Nate Johnson, who we're trying to catch up to USC on. A good strong safety that me, Pitt, and West Virginia, which are three user teams, are all going for. An absolute gem find with this JUCO 2-star DT named Michael Sharp. A guard who we're just keeping our eye on named Derek Holmes. Another guard we're leading on named Justin Scott. Then scrolling through, we have a couple other guys who we're leading on, like Andy Hoffman, Brian Price, and then here's our first QB we're looking at, named Marcus Scott, who we're leading on, and is alright. Then we've got a center here, who I think would really fit in well with our offensive line, named Aaron Sanders, who I would love to catch up to UNC on. Then here we have a running back who's really good, I was looking at and putting some points into early on, but Clemson and Wake Forest are both ahead of us. I don't really think he's worth the points right now. And a good coverage free safety by the name of Kenny Capps, where I'd really like to catch up to Washington and Syracuse on. And then two athletes, both named DeLuca, who I would love to get at least one of these guys on, because they could be really versatile. Middle linebacker who we're leading on, and then just a couple other guys, an outside linebacker, who I would love to catch up to Rutgers or Maryland on, to keep him away from another Big Ten school team, and to give him to us. and a wide receiver, and a halfback who I was putting some points into, but Maryland's going really hard on, so I don't know if we'll end up getting him, but I think he's worth putting some points into right now. Now, if you look up at the top there, you see that there's 150 points left over, and I've decided to give out some scholarships. So first up here is Walter Carlson. For all of the things that I've already said, I'm going to be offering him first. And next up, we've got that JUCO athlete named Brandon Gray. Now, I'd really love to get this guy, and we're just ahead of Pitt on him, so he's going to end up being the second guy we offer a scholarship to. And then the third and final guy that we're going to offer today is this JUCO defensive tackle, Michael Sharp. Now, we've got a good lead on him, so I think that as long as I offer him a scholarship and keep my eye on him, I should be able to keep my lead against WVU. Now, the last thing that I wanted to show you guys today is our schedule. As you can see, we've got a Syracuse and Pitt game up top there, and we're currently on a bye week before our home opener at Kent State. You can see we start our Big Ten play at Indiana, week 6, before hosting Michigan, having another bye week, and then we've got our game against Ohio State, at home versus Illinois, at Minnesota, home against Purdue and Nebraska, before finishing up at Wisconsin, week 14. So obviously, that's our schedule, that's the hand we've been dealt, and we just got to play as well as we can and win as many games as we can. Next game is our home opener against Kent State, and that's the only thing that we should be focusing on. But another big thing I wanted to point out was week 7 when Michigan comes to town. That will be our Penn State whiteout game. If you know anything about college football, that should get you excited, because the whiteout game is an electrifying atmosphere and a game that everyone should be looking forward to and marking on their calendars. That's about all I have for you guys this episode though. Our next game is our home opener against Kent State, who even as a MAC team can always pose a threat if you're not careful. Until then, that's all I have for you today. We are looking forward.